What's it like finding a character? I don't know, it seems like the greatest thing really in the world, right? I mean, you start with a seed of something and you water it by, testing it out, putting voices to it.
Here, Snipey, Snipey.
Give it some sunlight by, seeing what jobs that he does.
An explorer is a friend to all, be it plants or fish or tiny mole.
And Russell went through, several years of really being developed. It was very organic. So I remember drawing skinny ones and chubby ones and really like the book smart kid or really shy kids and different types of kids that I remember from my youth. And then I drew a version of me as a kid at my dad's grocery store. Not that I was drawing me, but it was just the type that I was just trying to fill up of different shapes and stuff.
Russell is a perfect wilderness explorer. By the book.
Are you in need of any assistance today, sir?
No.
But he just can't get it right.
He is doing things that kids really do. He complains, he gets excited.
I want to help!
He tries to help, but in trying to help, he does the opposite.
He's got a gung-ho spirit of, let's go, let's get out there, let's go have an adventure.
I've always wanted to try this.
He was very comfortable being who he was. He didn't care about what others thought, and always over-prepared for just about anything.
Russell is kind of out on the side, but he's too hopeful and energetic and upbeat to notice.
One of the things that we also wanted to understand about Russell is that maybe that's masking something. It's always kind of like maybe there's a larger story underneath that.
When we were looking for Russell's backstory, his motivation of why he wants to go along with Carl, we wanted to just keep him kind of grounded. And in his case, what drives him forward is that his mom and dad have separated.
His father has moved out and moved away and has very little contact with his son. And, for us, this kid was always trying to achieve, even at a very young age. And, of course, our sort of inroad to that was he's assisting the elderly batch. And once we had that idea, it was sort of like the kernel of that relationship. And for us, it was always a way of him compensating and him trying to make up and make better and make things work again.
We were well aware that there have been plenty of stories in cinema, in literature, that have a kid missing a parent. But we felt like it was a necessary thing. We wanted each character to have this kind of hole in themselves that the other can fill.
It's tough to lose a parent, and there's a real vacuum for Russell. And it's all right here, this little badge. There's something missing, this, right over his heart.
He thinks that somehow when he gets that last badge, his dad's gonna come and the whole family's gonna be together. In the same way that Carl feels like if I get that house to the falls, my wife will be back. Both completely absurd. And yet, you can understand why they would think that. It's emotionally, you want to feel that. And I think everybody has their own kind of version of that. That somehow by accomplishing something, I'm gonna do something that's completely impossible.
Russell is a good example of a place where the internal motivation of the character really affects their design.
He became sort of this egg shape that you felt that you had to kind of care for and try to nurture.
In animation, it's all about silhouette and the outside form of the character. And so Russell always had to be smooth and round. And on top of that, they're like, we want smooth and round, but he also has to be fun, and he's a kid.
So he would tuck his shirt in, but then he would be so excited about saluting that his shirt would pop out. Or he would look at the manual, take his neckerchief, spin it around, put it through the woggle, and make it as perfect as he can, but then throughout time, it just kind of gets offset.
The character of Russell came out of really wanting to find a good foil for Carl, this staid, locked in his ways type of guy.
What is the worst thing an old man can have? A kid that has no slow button.
I'll find them, Mr. Fredrickson. Snipe. Here, Snipey, Snipey.
And one of the people that influenced him heavily was Pete Sohn.
There we go. Basically, Russell looks like a scaled-down version of him.
Pete had this wonderful openness and this great engaging quality. I just thought, wow, that would be great if we could capture that in this character and put that as an obstacle to this old man who's insistent on shutting the world out.
This wilderness stuff is hard. The tent's a mess. The dinner turned out, well,
He's kind of built up this image of himself, and the fact that he can't build this tent
he just feels kind of dejected. And it has nothing to do really with his father or anything. You know, it's just a very simple emotion.
The way Bob wrote it was this misunderstanding on Carl's part.
You've been camping before, haven't you?
Never outside.
And so we wanted to make that much more uncomfortable and real than if he had just said, well, my mom and dad are separated and blah, blah, blah. There again, trying to get to something. I don't think he would be happy to talk about that.
So for me, the end is kind of rough still, so just
okay.
Tents are hard.
Wait, aren't you super wilderness guy with the GPMs and the badges?
Initially, I just get that idea of what Russell's feeling throughout the shot. And then I work a lot with video reference of myself. Like I'll just go into, we have an acting room in animation, and I'll just film myself acting like a kid. And just from that, I kind of extrapolate the things that feel true. Some of the little quirks, like maybe he's playing around with his fingers, or you know, he's kind of fidgety, or he doesn't want to look at Carl. Things like that that really get across the idea of him being uncomfortable without, you know, being too overt with it.
Dan's animation in that scene, you know, here's a really cartoony egg-shaped model, and when you're looking at it, you're seeing very human acting.
Well, why didn't you ask your dad how to build a tent?
I don't think he wants to talk about this stuff.
Well, why don't you try him sometime? Maybe he'll surprise you.
Well, he's away a lot. I don't see him much.
He's got to be home sometime.
Well, I called, but Phyllis told me I bug him too much.
Phyllis, you call your own mother by her first name?
Great, man. There's some really incredible, truthfully observed moments in there that just feel really alive, you know?
There's like kind of a naive, fun appeal to Russell's character that it doesn't feel staged. It feels like this kid really is there.
So what do I say?
You just say, whoa, hey, look, Mr. Fredrickson, likes me.
When it came to casting the voice of Russell, one of the things that was really important for me was that it not sound like an actor kid. You know, there's so many times when you hear kids that are interested in being actors and they've been schooled in Broadway theater or whatever, and so they sound very energetic and peppy and phony, kind of.
When I heard Jordan's reads, they were very much like a real kid would talk.
One more time, it's a little complicated.
Don't be afraid, little snipe. I am a wilderness explorer, so I am a friend to all of nature. Want some more?
Great, now can you memorize it?
We have some moments in the film where he's got to bare his soul, and so it takes some real acting. He, early on, wasn't really too excited about going to an imaginary place. He got a lot better as time went on. So we ended up having to trick him, in a way, keeping him off of what he's supposed to sound like, you know? So one idea was,
on your marks, get set, go.
Okay, now, before this next line, I want you to run back there, run around the foosball table 3 times, run as fast as you can, stop, and then say the line.
I will feed him.
I'll feed him, I'll give the food for him, I'll walk him, I'll change his newspapers, I will,
That was great.
You know, when you cast the voice ends up influencing the character. And once you sort of embrace the actor that you've cast and fold that into the character that you're portraying on the screen, I think it becomes a stronger, more unique character, and that's what happened here with Russell.
Russell, for assisting the elderly and for performing above and beyond the call of duty, I would like to award you the highest honor I can bestow, the Ellie Badge.